Hi, Iona. Thank you very much for coming.
Hi.
You took the Silva Method and you've been using it for different things. Can you tell us a little bit about why you took it and what you use it for?
I took it to just find different ways to lower my stress, meditate, learn to meditate, goal setting, and also just to get in touch with my intuition. And I recently took it again in Toronto, and just a couple weeks ago. And one of the reasons I wanted to take it again was to strengthen my intuition even more, and to just learn to trust myself more, to do more goal setting, and just reform bad habits, form good new habits, and or new good habits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, intuition is I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach, just a really strong feeling when I guess with like most people, when something's right or wrong, or just that's really in touch with what I actually want and the authentic self. That little voice inside that we tend to ignore or not listen to, especially when it's inconvenient. So I've just really wanted to learn to trust myself more, because I'm a very creative person. I'm very rebellious by nature. I usually non-conforming to society, which sometimes is hard for me because it's a lot easier to go with what society wants me to do than to follow what I actually want to do. So I've wanted to strengthen that little voice so that I can listen to it more and just do the things that are in line with what I want to do and what I want to get out of life. I feel like everything's right when I follow the intuition. I feel like things are easy. It just flows and it just works. Whereas a lot of times when I don't follow or I ignore it, I feel like it's a little bit like a hard uphill battle. I'm trying to make things happen. I'm trying to do the logical thing. I'm trying to do it. Just a little bit more friction in the way I think I describe it when it works, or when even something's what I know in terms of the universe, like when it works out, it's just easier. It just all of a sudden everything just falls into place, and it's smooth. It just happens. A year ago, I actually took a year off from my career, it's a sabbatical, to actually go travel. Which is a really scary experience because we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to do the adult thing and work and have career. And I've worked 10 years and to actually build my career, so it's really scary to walk away and go travel and follow what I want. But it's been something that I've wanted to do for at least 10-15 years. So it's something that I've always kind of been like, no, it's not the right time. It's not, I can't do that. So when I really quieted down and listened to what I actually want to do, I realized that this feels right, and all of a sudden I had this feeling that it didn't matter. I didn't need a backup plan. Like, I just knew it was going to work out. I just knew in every fiber of my being that it was just, this is the right decision and it was going to work out. So people ask me, like, what do you do after the year is gone? And how is this going to happen? And I don't have the answers. I just know it's going to work. And it's this feeling that I don't need to know how. I just know it will. And that just gives me inner peace. So I was able to just walk away and follow this dream I had, and things are working out and they're falling into place. But it was just, I basically just went on follow my gut feeling, and I just knew it was the right decision. I could have just easily said no and followed my fear, and I could have still been in the same job, and it wasn't a bad job. I liked it 80% of the time, but it just wasn't. There was something missing, and it was that nagging feeling of something missing that I knew was my intuition. It was like there's something more out there. So I just went in and followed that, and I just know things are gonna work out. I don't need to know the details or the steps, and sometimes it's hard not to know because we have this innate desire to know how things are gonna work out or to plan it out. And I have plans, but they're just loose because I know. I'm open to things that are going to pop up and the opportunities that are going to come, and I know that within a year I may not know how things are going to, develop, but I know that the right things are going to come up, and who knows, maybe there's an opportunity that I never knew before that had I not taken this step, I would have never had. So I just kind of follow what feels right, and it's never guided me wrong. I've been known to get lost with the GPS before, so this is serious. But in the last couple of weeks, I've, in absence, my GPS has stopped working, my actual GPS. And so I've been listening to my intuition. So there's been different parts of the city that I've been visiting friends, and, there's construction all over the city. So on the way there, sometimes I use my iPhone for that, but I don't want to use all my data. So on the way back, I thought, you know what? So every time on the way, on my return journey, I just use my intuition. So I think, okay, I'm gonna go this, and it sometimes feels right, and I just follow it, whether it's logical or not. And then I've actually been able to shave time off my journey. I've gone on streets that I've never gone before, but they just felt right, and they were actually more direct than the ones that GPS was taking me on. And then, I just follow until a point where I'm like, oh, I actually recognize the 400. There we go, right? And it's actually the only time I got lost was when I listened to Logic. When I thought, oh, I felt like going left, but I was like, oh, that can't be right. And I went right, and then ended up being that it should have been left. I've always relied on my intuition to guide me. But it's something that I've lost over the years because we just started getting used to doing things the way we're supposed to, or so I've fallen into that. So I've fallen out of place with that a lot in the last 5-6 years. So I've been wanting to get into that, and the Silva Method has been helping me. Yeah, I trust it more. It's never led me astray.